Welcome back on this channel, guys. In this video, we are going to show that science is proving the law of assumption and that imagination creates reality. I'm going to share with you a study that has been done that really proves that everything we talk on this channel and all those books and all those metaphysical teaching that has been around for a long time are being proven, are legit, and that science is not only catching up to it, but is actually making a lot of amazing, cool discovery, cool research, cool studies that really help us understand more the nature of reality and how we can apply all those tools even better in our life. So I'm gonna share with you an amazing study, something I found so fascinating, and I'm sure you will too, that really demonstrates how powerful the mind is and how it goes way beyond what we could imagine. And this is the key word, beyond what we could imagine. All right. And before we go into the content, I want to thank you for watching these videos. I want to invite you to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like this, guys. All right. So let's get started. This is an amazing study. This is something that is truly fascinating, mind-blowing, and that I'm sure you're going to walk away from this video with a lot of positive takeaway and things to think about in your own life of how you can apply this. Here's what happened. In this study that was made a couple of decades ago by one of the lead psychology professors from Howard University, Ellen Langer, what they did basically is that they wanted to see and they wanted to prove how does the mind affect the body? What is the mind-body relationship? But they wanted to go further. They were like, if we psychologically, meaning in the mind, in our thoughts, if we reverse time, would the body follow? So it's basically, I think of like anti-aging, right? Like if I reverse time and if I pretend that I'm younger, so to speak, will my body react accordingly? And to what extent and how far and how fast? So they wanted to really put this to the test. So what they did is that they took 5 gentlemen between the age of 70 and 80 years old, all right? And they took them, they drove them out of the city into a little secluded monastery where there was no distraction, and they put them in that environment for 5 days. The test, the study was extremely simple. The only thing that those 5 gentlemen had to do was to pretend that they were 20 years younger. So basically they had to pretend that they were either in their 50s or early 60s, okay? And to really help them pretend, imagine, and live as though they were 20 years younger, they tweaked the environment. They put the old TV set, the old TV show, the old news, the old newspaper, the music that was, top of the chart back then. And they were inviting them to talk about the world, how it was, as if it was happening now, 20 years ago. Yeah? So really to stimulate them and make them believe that they are 20 years younger and in that environment, and just see what happened after 5 days of simply doing this. Now, of course, they wanted to compare a lot of things, so they did a lot of tests. They all took photos. They tested for, grip strength, ear and eyesight, cognitive ability test, blood test, and all kind of joint and posture, and all kind of tests that will kind of really prove whether anything physiologically changed when the mind changed and the thought changed and their mental experience changed. The results were beyond what they were expected. And in some way we could say that the results were beyond their imagination. Because here's what happened. After a couple of days and after 5 days, what they noticed on the final result is that not only they all felt younger and looked younger, because when they were showing photographs before, after to some of those neutral observers who had no idea when the photo was taken, they would all say that those persons looked physically younger on the photo. But beyond just the appearance, what happened is that all the tests, all the measurements got better. Not only the way they could see, the eyesight and hear and grip strength and blood test and joint and flexibility and posture all improved. They ranked 44% on average on the cognitive tests. Some of them no longer required to pee during the night, or the amount of time they had to go to the bathroom really dramatically diminished. I don't remember exactly the figure, but it dramatically helped them no longer wake up in the middle of the night to go to the toilet. So bladder control of the body, the way they were able to walk. One gentleman who came in on day one with a cane, with a walking crutch, so to speak, no longer required it by day 5. And she said in a book, because she wrote a book about it, Counterclockwise Study is the name of the book, if you want to check it out. In some point in the report, she says that she was so taken aback when they were playing little soft football at the end, just passing the ball around and things like that. And that gentleman who came in with the walking aid no longer required it and was able to play casual soft football on the last day. Now, that is pretty freaking phenomenal if you ask anybody, okay? If after 5 days you could have all those health benefits, I think anybody who is in that age category will freaking sign up straight away, because it costs them nothing and the results in such short amount of time are freaking unbelievable, right? But there's a catch. Of course there's a catch. And I want to emphasize this strongly. At the end of the studies, when all those gentlemen left and went back in the environment, all of them but one reversed completely to the old habits, to the old symptoms, to the old personality, to being old again. And they went back exactly to how things were before they ever did that experiment. And this is so important, because imagination creates reality. The moment, if we break that down, what happened, the moment they started to imagine, they started to pretend, they started to live it, they started to embody that concept of I am younger, and that attitude about age and the number and what they are, how aging is supposed to be, and they were surrounded by an environment that was showing them a life that it used to be. Their body, their subconscious mind, through association, started to respond as though it was 20 years in the past. And so the body simply looked like, how were we 20 years ago? How did we move? How was it? And the body started to respond. That is the mind-body connection, okay? The biology of belief, as Bruce Lipton would call it. Phenomenal book to read as well on the subject. But this is so interesting, because the moment they left, they went back to the old mindset. Being old, right? Being their 70, 80 years old mindset, living that life, that environment, that habitual way of doing things. And between a few days, they just reverse right back into that self-image. So what can we learn from this? And this is significant, because this study not only shows that the law of assumption is real, that imagination creates reality and fast and beyond what we could imagine, but that you can also as easily gain and as easily revert back simply on what your state of consciousness is. If you go in a state of consciousness to embody it, to become it, and then if you kind of reverse back in the old state of consciousness, you will revert right back into the old result as well. Because as Neville Goddard always says, your state of consciousness is always objectifying itself. Now, my guess is that if those individuals were to stay in that environment for longer and really condition their state of consciousness and their belief and their self-image, and they were educated a little bit, they would have all been able to maintain that. Okay, so I believe this is an assumption. I believe there's also that gap in the knowledge and the belief system about how to sustain that. But that's another conversation. What I think is the main takeaway here for us watching those videos is this. First, this proves that the law of assumption is real. Two, it shows the power of what you imagine yourself to be. Your attitude, not only about your physical body, about your age, about your self-concept, the way you're aging, but also the power and effect of your environment, and how this can act as a feedback clue to you and your subconscious mind and trigger your body and your mind in a certain way. If you can create an environment around you that is dynamic, that is supportive toward what you want, right? If you can surround yourself by image of wealth, image of harmony, or figures, or mentors, or energy, or books, or whatever it might be that construct that nice environment around you, or just expose yourself less to certain things that drain your energy or bring yourself in that old mindset, it will help you embody that new state of consciousness, that new self-image. For example, let's say you want to lose weight, you want to be fit, you want to take control of your health, you want to look more incredibly sexy than ever, okay? If you keep meeting with your old friends that go to the same pub, the same bar, the same party, drinking and smoking the same substance, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. Proximity is power. You are going to end up exactly like your friend, right? Because we become like the average of the 5 people we spend most time with. So if you really want to make a big shift in that matter and shifting your environment, what you could do is join a gym, join a new group of friends, or at least a group of individuals that are, aligned with becoming healthier, sexier, and having a better lifestyle and a better body. And you will see how their belief, their result, their habit, their mindset, their state of consciousness, their energy rubs onto you, and how simpler it is to go from A to B. And I wanted to mention this because the environment can also, like in this study shows, play a significant role in helping us move into that new state of consciousness. So those are the 3 main takeaways that I have about this amazing study that proves the law of assumption, that proves that what you imagine, what you live in, what you think yourself to be, and what you surround yourself with, not only within yourself, in your consciousness, in your thoughts and emotion, but also around you, will shape and create your reality. And if in only 5 days, those gentlemen can create so much change in your life, imagine what you could create in 5 days or less if you really go all in pretending, imagining, and being who you need to be to create the life that you want. Imagine what this could do for you. Now let me know what you think down in the comments, guys. I will see you in my next video. As always, if you like this type of videos, like, share, and hit the subscribe button. I will see you next time.